Is Prince Harry targeting the Trump administration ahead of King Charles's visit next week? The Windsor royal family has finally broken the long-standing rule of never complain, never explain, with a shocking and definitive statement. A senior palace official announced this in a press conference that sent shockwaves from London to Washington. The information suggests the palace has officially declared that Prince Harry has been permanently removed from the inner circle, confirming that, as of April 2026, he no longer has the authority to represent, no longer holds diplomatic status, and has no path back. The tension reached a fever pitch when Prince Harry made a surprise appearance in Kyiv, Ukraine, delivering a punchy speech that many viewed as a direct aim at the Trump administration's foreign policy. Prince Harry's attempt to play the role of a global statesman, lecturing the world on international treaty obligations and American leadership, was the final straw for both the British Crown and the U.S. political establishment. Donald Trump, never one to mince words, delivered a response that left Prince Harry utterly humiliated on the global stage. Donald Trump's retaliation was not just a political rebuttal, it was a total deconstruction of Prince Harry's status. Harry is Harry, Donald Trump declared with biting clarity. He is not a royal in this country. He represents no one but his own interests. He is a private citizen, and it is time he started living like one. This was the moment the pseudo-royal facade crumbled. Donald Trump's intervention exposed the hollow nature of Prince Harry's Sussex court in California. While Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have spent years trying to blur the lines between their private commercial brand and the prestige of the British monarchy, Donald Trump pointed directly at the legal and diplomatic vacuum they inhabit. Under the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations of 1961, true diplomats and working royals on state business enjoy a suite of extraordinary protections: diplomatic immunity, tax exemptions, and government-funded security. Donald Trump made it clear that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have none of these. They are not diplomats. They do not get the protection of the American taxpayer, Donald Trump emphasized. If he wants security, he pays for it like any other millionaire foreigner. He is here on a visa, and that visa is not a get-out-of-jail-free card. The exposure of Prince Harry's struggling civilian reality stands in stark contrast to the image of service he attempts to project. Behind the high-gloss PR photos and carefully choreographed pseudo-royal tours to Nigeria and Colombia, Prince Harry is embroiled in a grueling legal battle over his U.S. residency. Donald Trump's administration has signaled a move to unseal Prince Harry's immigration records, specifically questioning his past admissions of substance use, an issue that could potentially lead to deportation. This is the truth, the struggle that the Sussexes have tried so desperately to hide, the reality that, without the Crown's protection, they are vulnerable, ordinary individuals caught in a web of tax liabilities and immigration disputes. The palace's anger is fueled by the realization that Prince Harry's recent actions were part of a highly calculated psychological play. As King Charles and Queen Camilla prepared for their highly anticipated visit to the United States, a trip designed to strengthen the special relationship, the Sussex camp preemptively announced their absence due to overlapping schedules. The palace has viewed this move as a desperate attempt to frame his exclusion as a choice. Prince Harry wanted the public to believe he was too busy with his own royal duties to meet his father, creating the illusion of a parallel court. This was a psychological strike intended to ensure that every headline about the king's visit would include Prince Harry's name, effectively stealing the oxygen from the monarchy's official mission. This shadow diplomacy is seen as a direct violation of the Sandringham Agreement. Prince Harry's insistence on using the term service, a word synonymous with the monarch's lifelong commitment, in interviews like Good Morning America, is viewed by the palace as a deliberate attempt to confuse the public. By conducting pseudo-royal tours to countries like Nigeria and Colombia, where they were received with state-like honors despite having no official status, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were attempting to build a fait accompli. The goal was to establish a presence so significant that, by the time King Charles arrived in America, Prince Harry would be viewed as the local host rather than an exiled son. However, the final severance of April 2026 has put an end to this game. Prince William, taking an increasingly dominant role in the family's defense, has spearheaded a slimmed-down monarchy, policy that defines the Sussexes as blood relatives but institutional strangers. The palace has made it clear there will be no meetings, no private lunches, and no recognition of Prince Harry during the king's visit. The inner circle is closed. Donald Trump's public dismantling of Prince Harry's status has provided ultimate validation for the palace's stance. In the eyes of both the British state and the American government, the Duke of Sussex is no longer a player on the diplomatic board. He is a man without a country, a royal without a crown, and a statesman whose lectures have been silenced by the very political forces he tried to influence. The PR war is over, and the House of Windsor has emerged with a cold, decisive victory. The second phase of this institutional demolition focuses on dismantling the shadow diplomatic structure that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have spent years meticulously constructing. Political observers and constitutional experts in both London and Washington have characterized this as the end of the pseudo-royal era. The palace has intensified its strategy of strategic silence paired with surgical leaks, effectively stripping the Sussexes of the ambiguity they once used as a weapon. For years, Prince Harry operated within a gray area, no longer a working royal, yet still carrying the weight of the monarchy. That gray area has now been officially erased by a coordinated effort from the British Foreign Office and the incoming American administration. The recent maneuvers by Prince Harry, particularly his self-styled diplomatic missions to international capitals, are now being exposed as hollow vanity projects. These trips, which the palace internally refers to as fraudulent tours, were designed to create a visual narrative of relevance. By negotiating directly with foreign governments for high-security motorcades and state-level receptions, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle attempted to bypass the authority of the British Crown. However, the game has changed. The palace has issued a quiet but firm directive to all British embassies and high commissions. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex travel as private individuals. They have no mandate. They carry no message from the king, and any honors bestowed upon them are personal, not national. This loss of standing was made painfully evident when Donald Trump entered the fray with a series of devastating public clarifications. Donald Trump has fundamentally altered the power dynamic by highlighting the legal vulnerability of Prince Harry's presence in America. While a working royal traveling on official business would be protected by the full weight of international diplomatic law, Prince Harry is operating on a commercial or O1 visa. Donald Trump has publicly questioned the integrity of Prince Harry's immigration application, specifically pointing to his public admissions regarding substance use, an issue that would typically bar an ordinary citizen from residency. This move by Donald Trump is a direct assault on Prince Harry's sense of security. It sends a clear message: the royal name no longer provides immunity from the standard laws governing foreign nationals. The stark reality of Prince Harry's civilian status in the United States is now impossible to ignore. In the absence of diplomatic immunity, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are subject to the same tax scrutiny and legal liabilities as any other wealthy immigrants. Their struggle is no longer just about public perception, it is a battle for legal survival. Donald Trump's rhetoric has stripped away the prestige, leaving behind a couple who must now navigate the complexities of American law without the invisible hand of the crown to smooth their path. The contrast between the official state visit of King Charles and the desperate, uninvited presence of Prince Harry has become a spectacle of institutional power versus individual delusion. Prince Harry's decision to avoid the king's visit under the guise of a busy schedule has been mocked by senior courtiers as a transparent defense. The palace has leaked information suggesting that even if Prince Harry had requested a meeting, it would have been denied on the grounds of national interest. The king's mission is to represent the British state and the Commonwealth, a task that requires absolute clarity of purpose. Prince Harry's presence, which the palace reportedly describes as a constant source of media pollution, would only serve to distract from the official agenda. By claiming a conflict of interest, Prince Harry is attempting to reject the king before the king can publicly reject him. It is a weak psychological gambit that has failed to fool the sophisticated diplomatic corps in Washington. Furthermore, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have been accused of using their non-profit entities as a front for political lobbying, a practice that is strictly forbidden for any member of the royal family. Their attempts to influence American politicians on issues ranging from censorship to environmental policy have drawn the attention of constitutional experts. The palace has made it known that Prince Harry's use of the Sussex title to gain access to high-level political meetings in the United States is a violation of the fundamental neutrality of the British monarchy. This is the core of the grievance. Prince Harry is using a title he no longer honors to play a game he is no longer allowed to participate in. As April 2026 unfolds, the finality of this severance is becoming a permanent fixture of the geopolitical landscape. The palace has successfully framed Prince Harry as a man out of time and out of place. His attempts to lecture the American public on their own democratic obligations while clinging to a foreign hereditary title have been exposed as the height of hypocrisy. Donald Trump's blunt assessment, that Prince Harry is simply a man with a famous name and a precarious legal status, has resonated with a public increasingly weary of royal drama. The shadow court in California is not just crumbling. It is being pushed out of the sphere of meaningful diplomacy. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are no longer seen as an active branch of the House of Windsor. Instead, they are becoming a cautionary tale of what happens when the pursuit of fame leads to the erosion of the very foundation that made that fame possible. Senior royal analysts have identified a recurring pattern of tactical leaks and high-impact announcements orchestrated by the Sussex PR machine. Senior royal analysts have identified a recurring pattern of tactical leaks and high-impact announcements orchestrated by the Sussex PR machine, designed to sabotage the official missions of working royals. This is not merely a coincidence of timing, but a deliberate attempt to maintain a parallel narrative that challenges the authority of the throne. Every time King Charles or the Prince of Wales, Prince William, embarks on a significant journey or delivers a landmark speech, a competing story emerges from California. This strategy aims to force the global audience to choose between the traditional institutional monarchy and the modern, celebrity-driven version that Prince Harry is attempting to promote to the American public. The palace has reportedly uncovered evidence of what it terms a shadow diplomatic network, where former government advisors and PR specialists are used to bypass official channels. This team is accused of feeding selective information to sympathetic biographers in order to paint a picture of Prince Harry as a victim of a cold and out-of-touch establishment. However, that victim narrative has been severely undermined by the sheer aggression of Prince Harry's recent moves. His appearance in Kyiv was the ultimate example of this calculated overreach. By stepping into a highly sensitive conflict zone and delivering political demands to the United States government, Prince Harry attempted to position himself as a global arbiter. This was a move intended to create a fait accompli, where the world would perceive him as the relevant royal while King Charles was reduced to a ceremonial figure. Donald Trump's intervention has served as the ultimate reality check for this media strategy. Donald Trump exposed the fundamental flaw in Prince Harry's plan, the lack of a sovereign mandate. In the world of high-stakes diplomacy, words only carry weight if they are backed by the power of a state. Donald Trump's blunt dismissal of Prince Harry as a private individual with no representative authority has stripped the Duke of his most valuable asset, the illusion of influence. Without the backing of the British government, Prince Harry's speeches are merely the opinions of a celebrity. And Donald Trump has been quick to highlight the absurdity of a foreign national lecturing Americans while his own status. The reality is that Prince Harry's status in the country remains legally precarious. The struggle for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle is becoming increasingly visible as the financial and legal costs of their independent lifestyle continue to mount. Without the diplomatic protections afforded to the royal family, they are discovering that the cost of security, international travel, and legal representation is astronomical. The palace has noted, with a sense of grim irony, that while Prince Harry and Meghan Markle attempt to project an image of effortless royal prestige, they are actually engaged in a desperate scramble to secure their commercial future. Their reliance on the Sussex title for branding, on platforms such as their personal website, is a clear indication that they understand their individual names are not enough to sustain the lifestyle they demand. This is the central contradiction of their existence. They claim to want freedom from the institution, yet they cannot survive without drawing from its symbols. The internal reaction within the royal family, particularly from Prince William, has shifted from disappointment to a firm commitment to institutional protection. Prince William has reportedly led the charge in ensuring that King Charles's visit to the United States remains untainted by the Sussex drama. The palace's strategy is now one of total containment. By refusing to engage with Prince Harry's provocations and strictly defining him as a private individual, they have effectively neutralized his ability to cause institutional damage. The message is clear: Prince Harry can speak, but he does not speak for the crown. He can travel, but he does not carry the flag. He can call himself a duke, but in the eyes of the state, he is simply another foreign national navigating the complexities of American life. As King Charles and Queen Camilla prepare for their state dinner at the White House, the contrast could not be more vivid. The king will be surrounded by the full ceremony and legal recognition of two great nations, while Prince Harry will be miles away, claiming a busy schedule to mask the reality that he was never invited. This is the true reality of Prince Harry's situation. His absence is not a choice made from a position of strength, but a retreat necessitated by a lack of access. The psychological play of pretending to be. The claim of being too busy for King Charles has been exposed as a hollow excuse. The international community clearly sees the difference between the legitimate authority of the monarch and the manufactured relevance of the celebrity prince. The upcoming constitutional changes of April 2026 represent the final nail in the coffin of Prince Harry's royal identity. These changes will formalize the exclusion of non-working members from any association with state business, effectively ending the era of the pseudo-royal tour once and for all. Prince Harry's attempts to lobby American politicians and his efforts to build a parallel diplomatic structure are now being dismantled by a combined force of British constitutional law and American political reality. The PR war that Prince Harry initiated has ended in a decisive loss, as the world recognizes that a title without a function is nothing more than the ghost of a life left behind. The transition is complete. Prince Harry has traded a position of institutional power for a life of uncertain relevance. The next stage of this relentless institutional purge focuses on the systematic dismantling of the Sussex brand and the legal removal of Prince Harry from the corridors of international influence. Palace insiders have characterized this period as the Great Clarification, a time when ambiguous titles and lingering associations are finally replaced by the cold, hard reality of private citizenship. The strategy employed by the Crown is no longer defensive. It has become an offensive maneuver designed to protect the integrity of the British state from what is described as the parasitic exploitation of royal status for commercial and political gain. Central to this phase is the exposure of the aggressive lobbying efforts conducted by the Sussex team within the United States. It has been revealed that Prince Harry's advisors, many of whom are veterans of high-level American political campaigns, have been attempting to secure a unique diplomatic status for the couple that would bypass their lack of official standing. These efforts were designed to grant Prince Harry and Meghan Markle the same level of government protection and access typically afforded to heads of state, all under the guise of their non-profit work and global service. However, the palace has reportedly worked behind the scenes with the British Foreign Office has worked to ensure that the United States Department of State is under no illusion regarding Prince Harry's status. The official position is absolute. Prince Harry does not represent the king, he does not represent the United Kingdom, and he is to be treated as a private resident with no special privileges. The intervention of Donald Trump has accelerated this process of stripping away the royal veneer. Donald Trump has publicly ridiculed the idea of Prince Harry as a global leader, pointing out that true leadership requires a mandate from the people or a throne, neither of which he possesses. By highlighting the precarious nature of Prince Harry's residency and the potential for a full investigation into his immigration status, Donald Trump has turned the Duke's greatest asset, his visibility, into his greatest liability. The threat of legal scrutiny over his visa has forced Prince Harry into a defensive position, underscoring the contrast between a man who once moved with the immunity of a prince and now faces the scrutiny of a private immigrant. This legal pressure is compounded by the palace's move to redefine the very concept of the royal family. The shift toward a slimmed-down monarchy is not merely an exercise in cost-cutting. It is a strategic repositioning to exclude those who seek to monetize the crown. The upcoming April 2026 mandates will officially terminate the use of the royal crown and the Sussex titles in any commercial capacity. This is a direct hit to the heart of Prince Harry's financial engine. Without the ability to sell the royal connection to streaming giants and global publishers, the value of the Sussex brand is expected to plummet. The palace has effectively set a trap. Prince Harry may retain his titles in name, but he is forbidden from using them to generate wealth. This move exposes the commercial motives that have driven Prince Harry and Meghan Markle since their departure from the UK. Furthermore, the palace has begun to evaluate the psychological tactics used by Prince Harry to disrupt the royal family's official calendar. The recent pattern of the Sussexes releasing major trailers, product launches, or philanthropic announcements precisely when the Prince of Wales is conducting state business has been identified as a form of media interference. This desperate scramble for attention is now seen for what it is, a sign of weakness rather than strength. A man who truly possessed a parallel court would not need to piggyback on the schedule of his brother. The palace has countered this by ensuring that King Charles's visits are surrounded by such high-level diplomatic significance that Prince Harry's PR stunts appear trivial and self-indulgent in comparison. The stark contrast between the two lives was on full display during recent diplomatic preparations. While the King's team negotiated trade agreements and security pacts with American officials, Prince Harry's team was reportedly seen struggling to secure high-level meetings with local governors, many of whom were wary of being seen as supporting a rival to the official British mission. The world is witnessing the slow but steady erasure of Prince Harry from the global power structure. He is being relegated to the sphere of celebrity gossip and media entertainment, far removed from the gravity of the Oval Office or the halls of Westminster. The palace's ultimate goal is to reach a state of total institutional severance by the end of April 2026. This involves not only legal and financial separation, but psychological separation as well. King Charles and the Prince of Wales, Prince William, have signaled that the era of olive branches and family reconciliations is over. The priority is now the survival and prestige of the monarchy as a national institution. Prince Harry's attempts to use his father's health or his brother's duties as a way to remain in the headlines are being met with a wall of silence. This silence is the most powerful weapon in the palace's arsenal, as it confirms to the world that Prince Harry is no longer part of the conversation. The Duke of Sussex is learning the hard way that when you walk away from the light of the crown, you are eventually lost in the shadows of ordinary life. This comprehensive investigation delves into the collapse of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's influence within the American political landscape and the resulting isolation that has left them in a state of diplomatic limbo. For years, the California-based couple relied on a strategy of building relationships with high-level politicians to validate their status as global figures. However, the recent shift in the American political climate has exposed the fragility of that approach. The palace has observed that as the legal and constitutional reality of their situation becomes clearer, the political elite in Washington is increasingly distancing itself from the Sussex branch. The era of the unverified royal has come to a definitive end, as the weight of traditional statecraft reasserts itself. A major catalyst for this decline has been the direct and public intervention of Donald Trump, who has made the status of Prince Harry a focal point of his rhetoric regarding law and order. Donald Trump has effectively stripped away the protective layer of celebrity that previously shielded Prince Harry from the consequences of his actions. By framing Prince Harry not as a royal, but as a foreign national who must adhere strictly to American immigration and tax law, Donald Trump has created a hostile environment for Sussex-era shadow diplomacy. This has forced Prince Harry into a position where he must now navigate a legal system no longer inclined to grant him the benefit of the doubt. The threat of an investigation into his residency status serves as a reminder that the special relationship between the UK and the US belongs to the Crown and the state, not to a private individual living in a coastal mansion. The palace has strategically utilized this political shift to reinforce the boundaries set by the Sandringham Agreement. It has been revealed that the British government, in coordination with the royal household, has been quietly briefing international partners on the lack of official standing possessed by the Duke of Sussex. This move was designed to prevent Prince Harry from using his title to influence policy or gain access to classified or sensitive political discussions. The message being sent is clear: any engagement with Prince Harry is a private matter and carries no weight in the eyes of the British government. This has led to a noticeable cooling of relations between the Sussexes and several prominent American governors and senators who previously sought the reflected prestige of a royal association. Furthermore, the palace has begun to expose the financial pressures underlying the Sussexes' recent PR maneuvers. Without the multi-million-dollar security and travel budgets once provided by the Crown, the cost of maintaining a pseudo-royal lifestyle is becoming increasingly unsustainable. The insistence of Prince Harry on being treated as a high level. The role of Prince Harry as a diplomat is now being countered by the reality that he must pay for every motorcade and every security detail out of his own pocket. Donald Trump has been particularly vocal on this point, asserting that the American taxpayer will not provide any level of protection for someone who does not represent a sovereign state. This financial pressure is a key component of the institutional severance, as it forces Prince Harry to choose between maintaining his pride and preserving his wealth. The psychological dimension of this conflict is also reaching a breaking point. The palace has identified Prince Harry's recent actions as a form of self-preservation driven by a fear of irrelevance. The decision to announce a conflict of interest during the king's visit was a calculated move to obscure the fact that he was excluded from the official guest list. By claiming that his schedule was too busy, Prince Harry attempted to maintain the illusion that he is a peer of the king rather than a subject. However, the world has seen through this facade. The lack of any official interaction between King Charles and Prince Harry during the state visit serves as public confirmation that the Duke has been removed from the inner circle. The palace has remained silent, refusing to offer any olive branch, confirming that the path to reconciliation is permanently closed. As the April 2026 deadline approaches, the finalization of the severance agreement is being prepared. This document will serve as the legal foundation for the new relationship between the monarchy and the Sussexes. It is expected to include strict prohibitions on the use of royal imagery and titles in any way that could be perceived as representing the state. King Charles and Prince William are said to be in total agreement that the dignity of the institution must be protected at all costs. Prince Harry's attempt to build a parallel court has failed because it lacked the one essential element that gives a monarchy its power: the recognition of the state. Prince Harry has discovered that while he can remove himself from the royal family, he cannot take the power of the royal institution with him. He is left as a man in the middle of a vast and indifferent landscape, with a title that has been stripped of its meaning and a future entirely of his own making. As April 2026 comes to a close, the British monarchy has moved beyond public statements to implement a legal and constitutional framework that permanently redefines the boundaries of the royal family. This is the culmination of the slimmed-down monarchy strategy spearheaded by King Charles and Prince William, a move designed to insulate the throne from any future attempts at commercial exploitation or shadow diplomacy. The palace has successfully transitioned from a state of reactive damage control to a position of absolute institutional authority, effectively leaving Prince Harry and Meghan Markle as isolated figures on the global stage. The most significant development in this final stage is the confirmation of a final severance agreement. This historic mandate has stripped away the last vestiges of Prince Harry's official status. While he retains the title of Duke by birthright, the legal ability to use that title for any purpose associated with the state or international diplomacy has been entirely removed. The palace has made it clear that Prince Harry is now a blood relative, but an institutional stranger. This distinction is crucial, as it defines how foreign governments and international bodies interact with the Sussexes. The message from the British Foreign Office is final: there is no path back to royal duties and no recognition of independent diplomatic initiatives conducted from California. The role of Donald Trump in this final outcome cannot be overstated. By consistently highlighting the lack of diplomatic immunity and the precarious nature of Prince Harry's legal standing in the United States, Donald Trump has provided the external pressure needed to validate the palace's internal decisions. The threat of a full review of Prince Harry's immigration status has served as a powerful reminder that, Without the protection of the crown, he is subject to the same laws and scrutiny as any other foreign resident. Donald Trump's blunt assertion that Prince Harry is not a royal representative has resonated widely. An American public that is increasingly indifferent to the Sussex narrative has further weakened Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's position. The couple now finds themselves in a situation where their once powerful brand is being dismantled by both the family they left and the government of the country they chose as their new home. Furthermore, the palace has successfully clarified the true nature of Prince Harry's absence from the King's state visit. While the Sussex PR machine attempted to frame the situation as a scheduling conflict, the official record now shows that Prince Harry was never part of the diplomatic equation. The refusal of the palace to acknowledge Prince Harry during the visit, or to grant him any private audience, stands as the ultimate confirmation of his exclusion from the inner circle. This was not a clash of schedules, but a deliberate act of institutional distancing. The King's successful visit to America, conducted with full state dignity and authority, has made Prince Harry's pseudo-royal activities appear increasingly minor and ineffective in comparison. Prince William has emerged as the primary architect of this new era of royal discipline. His firm stance against the monetization of the monarchy has ensured that the House of Windsor remains a symbol of national service rather than a platform for celebrity branding. The closure of the Sussex Shadow Court is a testament to Prince William's commitment to the long-term survival of the institution. By cutting off the supply of royal prestige that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle relied upon for their commercial ventures, the palace has ensured that the Sussex brand will gradually fade into ordinary celebrity status. As the sun sets on this period of unprecedented turmoil, the House of Windsor stands more unified and focused than it has in years. The institutional severance of April 2026 has provided the clarity needed to move forward without the constant distraction of Sussex-related controversy. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are now left to navigate a world where they are no longer central figures in a royal narrative, but private individuals responsible for their own security, finances, and legacy. The crown has spoken, and its word is final. The era of the pseudo-royal is over, and the true power of the monarchy remains where it has always been, with the sovereign and the institution.